Well, for me, getting out of the market, anytime you need to sell something in a hurry, it's always a bad idea because you're never going to get the going rate for it. Amortization, bit of a difficult one to say that. Right, everybody, welcome. So we're going to be doing a series now where I break down each of the properties that we've purchased over the years in our property portfolio breakdown. So if you've come halfway through in the series, don't forget to go all the way back to the beginning, watch them all the way through one after the other, and then we'll do a summary at the end. Hopefully you're going to find this really interesting and kind of my journey on our property breakdown, which you'll see in other videos I feed in as a general thing. So here you're going to get the real meaty information. And then that information will be summarized at the end. So when you watch other videos and I say, so our property portfolio is XYZ, then you understand where that comes from. So you can watch these videos over and over again. Nice little series. And as I say, if you've come in halfway through, don't forget to go back to the beginning and watch them all the way through. Otherwise they won't make sense. So welcome back, everybody. And we're going to look at, it's actually 5 properties, but it's over 2 buildings. So we're going to condense it down into property number 8, but really we're going to call it purchase number 8. See how I did that there? Because, you know, I'm not very good at handwriting or spelling, so you can say that says purchase somehow. Anyway, so we've got purchase number 8. Basically, we bought 2 times 2 bed flats in a block that we already manage. And we bought them off of 2 separate owners. One of them, they were just looking to exit the market because of that Section 24 issue that I referred to before. They'd remortgaged their property. And the mortgage, by now, we're talking 2023. The mortgages had gone up significantly, and they had decided that it really wasn't that profitable for them anymore. So they wanted to get out of the market. Well, for me, getting out of the market, anytime you need to sell something in a hurry, it's always a bad idea because you're never going to get the going rate for it. So these 2 flats were sold. One of them was just okay. It was kind of actually the most annoying type of property to buy, where it's not in a bad condition to refurbish, but it's actually not really in a fit state for someone to live in. So the people that are living there think it's in mint condition and really good, but as a developer you're looking and go, yeah, but there's so many scuff marks, all the walls are painted differently, carpet's all a bit worn out, kitchen's kind of halfway through its life. But they want top dollar, and you're thinking in a few years' time you're going to need to replace some of this stuff. So it's quite a hard negotiation, that. So we're able to negotiate that down to 170. 170k, and then the other one, the flat above, had poured water through and completely ruined the flat, and we were able to negotiate on that one 165. Now I know there's only £5,000 difference, and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, this one's got to have a full refurbishment. What happened was we were able to claim on the insurance of the flat above, and they replaced the whole kitchen and the bathroom, and then they cleaned the carpets. So these 2 properties were fit for people to move in, apart from this one here needed a little bit of painting, decorating and some minor stuff doing to it. So these 2 particular properties, tenants ready to move straight in, and they both pay £1,200 a month. Now the equity increase on those, they are probably worth about 185 now. So it's not the world's biggest increase, but you can see you've got 20k on there and 15k on there. So 35k we've added to those when you combine them together. And that isn't anything that we've particularly done really. We've spent nothing on this one. maybe a little bit of touching up on the walls where the builder had scuffed them from installing the kitchen and the bathroom. And this one we probably spent less than £1,000 on getting it ready for the market. So they are about as turnkey as you can get, but they're actually priced at a kind of slightly worn out, dilapidated arrangement. And again, we're now in 2023. If you remember from 2015, where we've got all of these rental incomes, there are a couple of properties in this time that we flip, some other ones that we rent out, various other things that we've been doing. We've got enough money drip feeding in to start funding the deposits on these things now. So they might take 6-9 months to build up. So we might have to top it up with our own money sometimes, or the firm might be doing, because again, this is all in Charles Cott's Capital's name. So this is in a limited company. So obviously some of the profits through the group can be funded into this, but basically the rental income is now starting to fund these acquisitions and property purchases. So that is part of property purchase number 8. Secondly, we actually bought a freehold. So for those of you who don't know what a freehold is, that is what you have on your house, but it's also what a freeholder has on a block of flats. So if you've got a block of 6 flats and the 6 flats are all on leases, then you would have a freeholder who would own the overall arching building, so the main lease, and then you're a leaseholder. With those leaseholders, obviously you have to pay service charge, ground rent, all that kind of stuff. So we have purchased this freehold for £22,000. Okay, but what we did then was when the properties came up for sale, we decided to buy them in our own freehold building. So this freehold is owned by limited company number 1. And then the purchases, so the buy-to-lets, are owned in limited company number 2. So what happened was, luckily or not, I don't know, 2023, 3 of them all decided to sell at once, pretty much, give or take. So in collaboration with some of the estate agents and the various tenants, we were able to purchase all 3 flats over about a 6-month period. Some of them were for estate agents that I knew. They know we just purchased the freehold, so they're going to come to us. So we're leveraging the fact that they're coming to us and saying, we know you purchased the freehold, we know you buy property. We're leveraging our kind of Charles Cott's brand at that moment in time in order for them to come straight to us. We did pay slightly less. So all 3 properties worth in the region of about £600,000. So £200,000 each, and we pay just shy of 500k for the lot. Okay, so we have just made ourselves equity of around about £100,000. And by then, stamp duty and stuff would have applied, but as I said in the previous video, I'm not kind of factoring that in because it's tax deductible when you want to sell these properties. So if you watch video number 6, I make a reference to video number 5 about a tunnel. So anyway, go and just watch the whole series, it's fine. On that particular deal that I'm referencing, we talked about the cost of opportunity. So obviously by buying that tunnel, I was able, or am able in the future, to go ahead and possibly divide the property into 2 or make it our life slightly easier from when we want to refinance it. This particular one is a block of flats like this, and then you've got a roof at the top with various dormers built into the top here like that. I know this isn't quite how dormers are built, but anyway, for artistic impression. I get a 2 for my art, but so we would want to then build on the roof possibly to square this building up and then build another floor or 2. So by 2 of the flats that we purchased are on the top floor, so now we can do that much easier because we're in control of that. And then one of them was one of these flats down here. So we then own 50% of the building, which, as you know, we're a block management company, so we'll be managing the building. We always were anyway. But this will then allow us greater control over it. We need to do some works at the building. Obviously, we're incentivized to keep the costs down, so that will help the leaseholders as well. I mean, we're always incentivized to get the cost down, but even more so when we're having to pay out our own pocket. But yeah, basically this particular site allows us to have access to that. There's a big patch of grass at the side here as well, which we might be able to build on at some point in the future, although there's a drainage thing that runs through the middle of it. But yeah, the main point is that we own the top floor, so we can potentially build on the roof at a later date. Whether we do that in the next 10 years or not, who knows? We might just get planning permission and sit on it. But these particular 3 flats here allow us to unlock that potential in the freehold of this building. We would probably buy more in it because it's nice to own more. They're not the world's most biggest return. I know we've just made 100 grand buying them cheaper and then obviously selling them on. But and don't forget, my valuation of £200,000 on the previous flip chart is based upon what you'd probably put it on the market. So by the time you sold it, seller's fees, all the rest of it, you're probably clearing 50k out of it. The true potential here was about trying to unlock some of the potential of the building. And it's in a slightly different area to our new catchment or standard catchment area of just outside of Brighton. So this is actually nearer Eastbourne. So yeah, it's allowed us to expand over that way as well. So that is basically purchase number 8, which is more of a kind of combined thing that all hit us all at once, really. Yeah. And then obviously, as you know from the previous videos, if you have a look back for our back catalogue, we've started doing commercial property now. So that will be added into this portfolio here. But yeah, at the moment, we haven't included that because this is the residential portfolio breakdown to where we've got to at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. So hopefully you've really enjoyed that. Right, what we're going to do now is do a kind of real synopsis, very short one, of the whole kind of breakdown of the exact kind of amalgamation of all of it, really, what it actually means as a portfolio, because we've gone from an individual owning a couple of buy-to-lets like your mum and dad might do, or Auntie Susan or whatever, you know, very common. I think even on the James Sinclair podcast that I went on, he referenced the fact that everybody knows somebody that's bought 1 or 2 buy-to-lets. We're now a portfolio landlord, and we're doing this much more like a business than we are perhaps doing it as a side hustle or a hobby or a pension top-up. So check that video out. It's the next one in the queue. Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you like this sort of style of video, let us know below. We haven't really done a series before, so it'll be interesting to see your comments.